On tonight's show, we have a video here from Virgin Media News. This is the race to the Aras, which is the presidential seat. Kieran Cuckoldry and the Virgin Media News label this, "Will spoiled votes send a message?" Now, before we get into this one, it's quite long. It's like 17 minutes, so grab your popcorn, lads. I couldn't find my Mainstream Media is Dead t-shirt. I think I left it upstairs somewhere, but I'm going to break down everything that Kieran Cuckoldry says. And the Mainstream News is dead, guys. They are completely dead. And tomorrow, tune in around 6 or 7 o'clock. We're going to do a massive live stream. I have the biggest live stream of all time coming tomorrow night, guys, at around 6 to 9. So tune in then. It's going to be massive, lads, on this County Gains YouTube channel. Tell everybody. Hopefully, we send a message to spoil your votes. Of course, it's going to be a hashtag spoil your vote live stream. But first, let's get into this one. This has Declan, Ganley, and a few people from the right. So this one's going to be good.
Comes to going to the polls for the presidential election, are you one of the undecideds or maybe disillusioned at the lack of variety on the ballot, or are you part of the estimated 6% of voters who say they will spoil their vote on Friday? That according to the latest opinion poll in the Irish Times. Dee, Rory, Declan and Fergus are all still with me. Declan touched on the spoil the vote campaign that I know you're foursquare behind, and we'll come back to that in a moment. But Fergus, are you disillusioned with the choice on the ballot paper?
It's not the choice I would have wished for, but then I wanted to be on the ballot paper, and I tried to be on the ballot paper, and I failed to be on the ballot paper. And so obviously it's not the choice I would have wished for. But at the end of the day, the people of Ireland will choose a president. And the people of Ireland have a very, very good track record in choosing decent presidents. We've never had a bad one. We've never...
Michael D. Higgins is the worst president of all time. He's a closet homosexual that won't come out of the closet. He is a coward and is terrible. This guy's a socialist, communist, Marxist, left-wing lunatic. The person before that, Mary McAleese or whatever, she was terrible as well. I mean, all the presidents that we've had have been shite for the last 20 years. So this lad's talking out his ass. And yeah, just talking shite, to be honest, lads. And he should have been on the ballot. But he's a terrible speaker, so he wouldn't have been able to debate people. But if Maria Steen was on the ballot, she would have been able to debate everybody. That's why they're afraid.
That would have let us down. And I would trust and believe that that'll arrive this time too. You can go back through the history of the office and you can go back through all of the individuals that we've elected. And we always look back at them saying, oh, they wasn't too bad, wasn't that bad. Some outstanding, some maybe a bit less outstanding, all decent, all honourable, all honest.
Saying that someone's not that bad is not good. Like, if you're a president, you want to excel at that role. What the hell is this guy talking about?
All straightforward. We have never, ever been badly served by a president of Ireland.
Really?
And I think part of the reason for that is that we choose them. Second part of the reason is they take an oath. And every single one of them, I'm not old enough to remember them all, but I remember some of them and knew some of them reasonably well. Every single one of them takes their oath very seriously. So I don't have anything to worry about. I mean, I'd love to have been there. I'd love to be the one taking the oath. Ain't never going to happen for me, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that we're going to choose one, and that person is not going to let us down.
Do you think that there is a sizable cohort of people who feel unrepresented,
yes,
who are unrepresented?
Yes, 50% of people statistically feel unrepresented in the Irish presidential election in 2025. 50%, that's a statistic that's not made up.
Feeling it, that they are
on the left and on the right, there's a sizable cohort of people. And there's a reason for that too. That people made their bags of their efforts to get on the ballot paper. They didn't succeed because in some cases they didn't start well enough. In other cases, they didn't have a sufficiently high profile. I wasn't able to...
Yeah, so this guy's full of shit once again. Maria Steen, Conor McGregor and Nick Delahunty were all blocked from going on the ballot. They were blocked by Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil completely because you need 20 politicians to sign off on your stuff, and they didn't sign off on his stuff because they literally blocked them. This guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. They're all idiots. They're all liars in the government. All liars in the media and everything. The mainstream media in Ireland is completely dead. It's a joke.
My own party to support me. Those kind of things happen in election campaigns. But the last presidential election we had in Ireland had 6 or 7 people on the ballot paper, most of them nominated by local authorities. The previous one had 6 or 7 people nominated by local authorities. And on both of those occasions, well, on the last occasion, I think there was only one party candidate And the previous one, there were two party candidates from Fine Gael and Sinn Féin. So there's a kind of a theory now that the political parties use a kind of blocking mechanism to prevent people getting it. I've never seen evidence of that. Never seen evidence. I mean, if you start very late and you throw your hat in the ring at the very last minute, and there are offences you need to mend with fellow Oireachtas members and you fail to do it, you've nobody to blame but yourself.
Is complete bullshit, completely wrong. They blocked him completely. Everybody is to blame except for Maria Steen. She should be on the ballot and she would have won the presidential election. They don't want her because they don't want somebody who's right-leaning as president. Okay, because then that will change the dynamic of the country. They only want a left-leaning president. It's disgusting. This country is a bunch of cucks.
The legitimacy of whoever is ultimately elected president slightly undermined if the turnout is abysmally low and if there's a sizable number of people who spoil their vote.
I wouldn't say that the legitimacy is undermined. I think it'll be a very sad day if we don't see a strong turnout on Friday. I mean, I unexpectedly...
Do you think we will see a strong turnout?
Well, the predictions are that we'll see a lower turnout than the last time. I mean, I've unexpectedly found myself in the same position as Declan and others in that I didn't have a candidate on the ballot paper that I could cast my vote for in the hopes that they would get into the Oireas. But, unlike others, I'm not complaining about that.
Well, you did have somebody on the ballot. Fianna Fáil did have somebody by the name of Jim Gavin, except he was sleeping around with other people's wives on the GA team. Cluxton on the GA Gaelic football team. Also, he was sleeping with his daughter's girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. So the guy had his mind preoccupied. He was also not paying back tenants their overpaid rent. The guy obviously is not a great guy, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, you did have somebody on the ballot, except the guy chose to pull out the race. Never pull out, okay, lads? Never pull out. We need to increase the population of Ireland, all right? Never pull out.
I am certainly not throwing my toys out of the pram and suggesting that people spoil the vote. I'm going to use my opportunity to vote on Friday to ensure that the candidate who most closely represents my views, and neither of them fully represent my views, but the one who most closely represents my views is the one who I will be giving.
And do you think that's the responsible thing that everybody should do?
I would. That's what I would be encouraging people to do. It certainly is. I've met a lot of people. The majority of people I've spoken to about this are disillusioned and are not enamoured with the what's in front of them. But I think.
Oh, I know what's coming, guys. We're going to have a 50% spoil your vote turnout rate. It's going to be just massive spoil your vote. 50% coming. Shit, it could be 80%. Oh, man. Like she said, I spoke to a lot of people who are disillusioned. Oh, everyone is. Everybody knows. You can't keep the Irish public, the fighting Irish, down. We're too smart for that. We're too savvy for that. What wool are you trying to pull over our eyes? It's not going to work.
We have to make a decision, and that person will be well supported, and we hope that they will grow into the role.
I think those were your toys she was talking about, Declan, being thrown out of the pram. So why are you encouraging people to spoil the vote?
Well, Kieran, I'm centre-right in my politics. I don't think that's a big secret. There is no one of the centre-right on the ballot. There was a concerted effort to try and put a candidate from the centre-right on the ballot.
Who was that, Declan?
Maria Steen. There were others as well. That
Oh,
look at the lefties interrupting them. Oh, let me tell you, if I was on that show, nobody's interrupting me, guys. And Declan Ganley is too nice. Honestly, I tell him to shut the hell up while I'm talking. Hey, bitch, shut up while I'm talking, you bald-headed fool.
Weren't public. The choice then is to vote for somebody that is opposed to your views politically, opposed to your values, to your principles, to your beliefs, or still participate and respect the struggle that was made to earn everybody the right to cast a ballot, participate in democracy, go to the polling booth, cast your ballot, but cast a spoiled ballot. And the way you do that is put an X beside each of the three candidates. There are three candidates still on the ballot. Put an X beside them. Do not express a preference. If you want to write the name of somebody or you want to write an issue, you can write it on. But the only thing that will matter is that is counted as a spoiled ballot.
But that's not really participating in democracy.
What it is.
Theatrical.
It 100% is participating in democracy. It's saying none of the above. You see, Kieran Cuckoldry is so cucked by his Virgin Media News that he won't even admit the truth. These guys are all cowards. They hate democracy. It's an undemocratic election. It absolutely is. It's actually the most democratic thing you can do. You know who suggested to do that? George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. They said, spoil your vote. Bet you didn't know that, guys. The leaders, the founders of the US said that. All the greats said, spoil your vote. Don't cast your vote for the people that they choose you to give to. Right, none of the above, because that's your right as a human, as a citizen of Ireland, okay? And these people want to mislead you. They want to trick you into voting for Heather Humphreys or Catherine Connolly, and it's not going to happen. Not this year. We're taking over.
Abstention.
It's a very intelligent way of participating in democracy. Because it gets reactions like this from Fergus and the same reaction from Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael.
Give it away.
And they are going to tell you that there is something wrong or it's throwing your toys out of the pram or anything else. What they actually want you to do is stay at home and not vote if you're upset with what's on the ballot.
Not at all.
I haven't finished. Or vote for somebody who you politically and in terms of your values, completely disagree with.
Yes.
This is a curated ballot paper. The kind of thing that we used to see in communist Poland, where you would have candidates, that you could choose from, but they were all pre-approved.
Let's go.
Declan claims that.
Let's go, Declan Ganley. You showed up. You did a good job today. Finally. This man's a patriot of Ireland. This is amazing work. Show this to Declan Ganley. Great job, my friend. That was perfect. That was perfectly said. Oh, couldn't have said it better myself.
The
candidate he preferred made a concerted effort to get on the ballot paper. If that was the case, then why isn't she there? There's no...
Shut up, bitch.
Shut up, bitch.
mystery around how you get on the ballot paper. There's no mystery around how you get on the ballot paper in this country. You either go through the local authorities or you get the nomination from your Oireachtas members.
To stop
that wasn't, I'm
their councillors
if that was a mystery to Maria Steen or others.
Fianna Fáil are upset. Their candidate sucks. He dropped out. He's terrible. The other two candidates, one's a communist, doesn't pay her landlord taxes or whatever. They're all corrupt crooks. Like Maria Steen, squeaky clean. We love Maria Steen. She's beautiful. She looks like flipping a supermodel, okay? And the husband looks like flipping James Bond, Pierce Brosnan. You know, the amazing looking couple. Of course, we can't have a good looking couple. We have to have Catherine Connolly and Heather Humphreys, which Heather Humphreys is better looking, but still, I mean, just people that are not really taking care of themselves. These are people that represent Ireland on a national, international stage, and these people just hate being challenged for any of their ideas. Notice how as soon as he contends any of their ideas, they immediately all just break down and can't even let him discuss honestly. He all gave them 3 speaking time, and they wouldn't give him speaking time, adequate speaking time. They kept interrupting him. Notice how the left do that.
Certainly did not use the whip, but again, this is nonsense. Why, in the name of God, would you
this
expect?
Isn't even a secret.
Why, in
it's
the name of
public.
God, would you expect a political party to recommend to their members or to their representatives to give a backing to another party or to
every other presidential election, as Fergus said?
I would not expect an independent candidate to give me the nomination to get on the ballot paper. I don't know why they would expect us to give them the nomination.
How did we have 6 candidates on
there
the
was
last
no
time?
mystery to how you got on that ballot paper, and it is down to poor preparation.
It's a good point, you know, Declan Ganley says, you know, last time there was 6 candidates, this time there's 2. So it's obviously, it's like, what, a third of the candidates that were last time? It's kind of a joke.
I'm not advocating that people stay at home. No one's scaremongering. If people choose to cast and spoil their ballot, that's their choice. But it achieves nothing. And
It absolutely does, guys. Don't listen to these people. They're trying to brainwash you. Like, it absolutely achieves everything. You're allowed to say none of the above because you don't like the choice. It's basically a no vote in confidence for the government. It's great. It's actually the best thing you can do. 100%.
Is allow other people who are more excited about the candidates on the paper to choose for us.
Rory. Yeah, I think this idea of spoiling the vote, like, people fought and died for us to have this vote. And to treat it in such a I always call, juvenile way that you can spoil your vote. Declan, by spoiling their vote, they're essentially voting for the government. That's what a spoiled vote is going to...
Completely wrong, guys. When you spoil your vote, it's actually the most democratic thing you can do. People dying for a right to vote has nothing to actually do with it. Like I said before, people in civil wars, I'm pretty sure Eamon de Valera said it as well. You can cast none of the above. If you don't like somebody, don't vote for them, guys. Say none of the above. You're perfectly allowed to say it, but all these great leaders from the US and in Europe have said it before, guys. None of the above is a perfect thing to do. It's nothing to do with being disrespectful to your vote, guys. This is them again trying to brainwash you. It's ridiculous.
It doesn't, and I think
how's that?
it's a turnout.
Hang on. So I don't understand
because a spoiled vote is essentially a vote for Heather Humphreys. That's what it will result in.
No, it's
not. If people do that, because clearly it's not a vote for someone who is an independent voice. And what is going to happen?
Heather Humphreys.
Well, I believe it. I believe spoiling the vote is effectively going to do that. But look, hang on.
Is a vote against the system as it stands.
No, it's not. If you're against the system, if you want to see a president who will actually challenge this government, you want to see a president who is independent, who has their whole life been independent. It is Catherine Conley. And you talk about...
Catherine Conley is not independent, guys. She's left-wing as it gets. She's communist, socialist, neo-Marxist shill. They're all doing stuff for money. She was a barrister. She kicked thousands of Irish people out of their homes for basically some money. For money. That's it.
Fianna Fáil were the party who couldn't get their act together in terms of a candidate.
At least Declan can be assured that given Catherine Conley's record as a barrister, that she will sign into law. The
whole point is that
you
can shout over me. Catherine Conley is actually a candidate who has created a movement, and this is what Declan is talking about. All these people who are disenfranchised. What I've seen on the doors is Catherine Conley and the movement that is around her engage young people, engage old people, engage people across this country around a sense that we need
she engages them all right. She engages them with the ballot, with the bailiffs kicking you out of your home. Okay, at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who do you think Declan should vote for?
Declan can vote whoever he wants for.
So Declan looks at the ballot paper, and he feels none of those candidates represent my views.
Yeah.
The candidates are all left-wing guys or centre-left. Like I said before, if we just had a left-wing with with Catherine Conley, centre with Heather Humphreys, and Maria Steen with the right, then it would at least be fair. Then you hit all basically sectors. Of course, you can go into different areas, but just from a broad view, just having 3 people, centre, left, and right, it would be actually fair. That I would actually say, as County Gaines, I'm not crazy, guys. I would say, perfect. Let's just have it then like that, and we leave it at that. But they won't even allow that, guys. They won't even allow it.
Those candidates hold views that are contrary to my own. Who do you think he should vote? Who do you think he should vote for?
Well, I obviously think Declan should vote for Catherine Conley. I think she's the best candidate. No, but seriously, that's in terms of who he's going to vote for. I think that Declan clearly faces that challenge himself. But I didn't create that situation. We backed a candidate. The Social Democrats actually came out very early and said we were supporting Catherine Conley, worked around that to get her support. We started last summer, and I think part of the problem was Declan and Maria Steen left it too late. And why did they leave it too late? I think they were avoiding the publicity. Catherine went out very early and was willing to put herself all through the summer, get the media questions, engage with them, whereas they weren't. I think they were trying to play a clever game and it backfired.
Fergus, you want to come in there?
I'd like to make a serious point at the risk of being accused of being patronising again by Declan. Declan isn't being asked to choose between left policies, right policies, centre-right policies. He's being asked to choose between 2 people. He's being asked to choose between 2 people.
No, he is being asked to choose between policies. He's being asked to choose between left and lefter. Dumb and dumber, as I call it, guys. Just left with Heather Humphreys and super left communist Marxist with Catherine Conley. Plain and simple. There's no sort of right-leaning policies there. Nothing. None of them hold right-leaning policies. None of them.
Whichever one of them wins will take an oath in front of the entire nation. And that...
What's with this guy and oaths? People break oaths all the time, guys. Your man Bill Clinton took an oath that he didn't get a blowjob from his secretary in the Oval Office. He literally lied under oath about it. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. People lie under oath all the time, lads. This is what it is. Like, oath is nothing.
In front of the entire nation. And that oath will oblige them, A, to protect the Constitution, and B, to put their abilities at the service and welfare of the Irish people. What Declan has to decide is, who does he trust with that oath? Which of the remaining candidates does he trust with that oath? Their policy don't matter a damn. We all know that. This is not an election about policy. It never has been.
It is an election about policy. Everything in politics is an election about policy. This guy, what is this guy? Communist or something? What is this guy?
It's an election about character, trust, personality. As it happens, I think both of the candidates
Lads, I can't take much more of this.
have remained and emerged. Both have emerged as strong, independent people. Both are women, which I think is an extraordinary plus. And both
are women, which is an extraordinary plus. Why? Why is it a plus that they're women? Being honest, guys, I'm not trying to put women down. I'm just saying, what does it matter? Like, if they're men or women, everyone's the same. This guy's just like a cuck for women. Oh, it's great that they're women. Oh, it's great.
I think can be absolutely trusted when they take that oath. So I don't think there's any dilemma here. There's no difficulty at all. You're not choosing an anti-abortion candidate versus a pro-abortion candidate.
I can't ignore people's track record. I can't ignore that. If I could ignore that, I'd be voting for Jim Gavin or somebody else if I didn't care about people's track record or where they stood politically. Heather Humphreys, just a year ago, was leading the Yes. She was the campaign director for the Yes Yes campaign that thankfully went down in flames.
Out of the two candidates, who do you trust more with that oath of office?
Honestly,
you don't
I see them both.
They're going to take an oath and you don't trust them. You don't trust them.
I can tell you what, I don't trust one of them more than the other, okay? To me, they're both mediocrities.
Yes.
They do not impress me.
I'm
sure they don't. And because they are opposed to me, they are opposed to the beliefs, values and principles of a significant portion of this country.
100%, 50% of people feel unrepresented in this election. There's only two candidates and they're both terrible. Spoil your vote. # spoil your vote, guys.
I cannot vote for either of them. I want to cast my ballot. I want to vote against the kind of wokery that has produced the outcomes that we're seeing, that we've seen over the last few days in this country, and my ability to do that is casting a spoiled ballot. I wish I had someone I could vote for. I don't.
I hear what Declan's saying. I absolutely hear what Declan's saying, and I think a number of people listening and watching tonight will feel the same way, that there isn't a person on the ballot paper that they're wildly enthusiastic about. I would agree.
It's not that they're wildly enthusiastic. You know, we don't need this condescending nature from this woman. It's like, not about that, guys. We're not wildly enthusiastic about them. It's that we adamantly oppose what they're about, guys. They're changing the country in a way that we don't want, we don't like. That's something to be very, very concerned about.
With Fergus's analysis, these are two respectable individuals who could be trusted to execute the office, and I have no doubt the Irish public will choose the right president.
Declan, for all the talk about wokery and a lack of representation and everything, the reality is Maria Steen might be on the ballot had you started a bit sooner.
No, that's not true, guys. This is another thing. Kieran Cuckoldry knows how to play the game. He knows how to play the game. She should be on the ballot. No matter how long ago she started or whatever, she was blocked. She had 18 votes from different people and she was blocked from the last two. That's it. That's why she didn't get on. Nothing to do with coming in too late.
I don't think so. Because
Paddy Tobin now is behind this campaign as well, and he acknowledges it started too late.
Paddy Tobin's a great guy. I like Paddy Tobin. He is behind the Spoil Your Vote campaign. Every time I listen to Paddy Tobin, I like him more and more. So he's a great guy.
I mean, maybe Paddy has a different view, and he's entitled to that view. The shutters were pulled down on the county council route.
Yep.
Openly by Fine Gael, and she wasn't and quietly she did go to county council route. She did. She started there. No. She did that later, but she started with the county councils.
Yeah.
And she went around and
that guy on the right is just clueless, guys. I think it's crazy.
She met with and spoke with the county councils. Gareth Sheridan was out there a year ago working the county councils. This had been going on for a long time, and the shutters were being pulled down in a way that had never been seen before.
Not true.
And when Maria was looking for the final two nominations, when Michael McDowell blocked her, when she was looking for those final two nominations, Willie O'D and other members of Fianna Fáil just in the interest of democracy, in the same way that, Michael Healy-Rae said he was, and I think Marion Harkin said they were both going to vote for Heather Humphreys, but in the interest of democracy, they would nominate Maria Steen. Willie O'D was talking about doing it. There were calls made from New York. Micheál Martin was over in New York at the UN. Next thing, boom, the shutters came down.
The UN, guys, the EU, the UN always shut off if there's anything more right-leaning. They hate it,
But it's also true to say, and I know you know this because he said it when we were discussing it on the radio, Jerry Crockwell, the independent senator, there would have been hope that he would support the campaign. He said the first time the campaign reached out to him was the Friday before nominations closed, and he got a WhatsApp message from one of Maria Steen's supporters. Well, that doesn't sound like there was lots of work happening in the background weeks and months in advance. That sounds like people scrambling.
There was. Well, on that same programme that you were not, it was your programme. Jared said that he wanted to nominate me, which was very, very kind of him. Suffice to say, there had been discussions about somebody.
Despite everything you just said, the fact is, you needed Jerry Crockwell's support, and he got a WhatsApp message a couple of days before nominations closed from somebody in the campaign, not Maria Steen herself. It doesn't.
What matters?
Well organised.
It was extremely well organised. Like, we're talking about a barrister here. We're talking about a woman who's a barrister. The husband, I believe, is a barrister as well. Some of the most highly educated people in the entire country. To say that Maria Steen wasn't very organised is so unfair. It's so disingenuous. It's like insulting,
What matters is look. There were supposedly conservative independents like Sean Canny from Tune, like Noel Grealish from Galway West, who would not entertain anybody of their politics being on the presidential ballot paper.
There are 3 names on the ballot paper, and people will have to choose who they want this coming Friday.
No, there's not actually 3 names. There's 4 names on the ballot. First one is Jim Gavin. Second one is Catherine Connolly. Third one is Heather Humphreys. Fourth one is, of course, Mr. None of the Above. So everybody pick none of the above. X out with a big marker, everybody on your ballot, and write Maria Steen at the top of the ballot paper. Spoil your vote. I love you guys all. If you want to support me, hit the join link underneath the video. We have 35 members now, new members every single day. I appreciate that. So I can support you guys. I want to help push back against the mainstream media, the Irish government. I love you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.